Well, we haven't talked about Eli Roth in some time, but they should make that up. There's no easy way to say it. Borderlands, the movie, is very close to being as bad as something can physically be. The plot is almost non-existent, half the characters are irrelevant, the CGI is terrible, the action scenes mostly suck, almost nothing in terms of comedy, and it's clear nobody wants to fucking be there. That's what this is, one of the worst video game adaptations, period. And given it was another box office disaster, I don't know why they made this.
And you recognize nothing.
If you haven't gotten the memo yet, I'm not a huge fan of Eli Roth. After Hostel, his career kind of went to shit, with films like The Green Inferno and the highly requested Death Wish remake. I'm not saying there were no good films in between, but I don't know what the mindset was here. The film stars a terribly miscast Cate Blanchett as bounty hunter Lillith, who is contracted by a generic corporate bad guy to supposedly rescue her daughter because, get this, she holds the ultimate key, and obviously generic corporate bad guy is bad, the arrangement isn't completely agreed on, and in the end, not one thing happens to make you give a remote fuck.
How can you do a thing like this?
Like I said, the plot is an excuse to get to the action scenes, that's what they're banking on. But when the action isn't even good with actors who don't want to be there, and the effects are shit, well, I think you know where it's going. Just listen to this.
Long ago, our galaxy was ruled by an alien race called the Iridians.
I don't know if she's supposed to sound bored as shit. Given how it ends, that might be the idea.
Yeah, that sounds like some wacko BS, right? Well, I thought so too.
But that doesn't excuse sounding that fucking unenthused. It's definitely the appropriate tone, so that's one good thing, because honestly, nobody could really still be listening. We open on planet Pandora, with our very special character Tina, played by Ariana Greenblatt. She's the key. And mercenary rogue soldier Roland, played by Kevin Hart, because that's what this needs. He's there to break her out with the help of Psycho Krieg, who she befriends, and this brief opening scene really does have it all. Characters who will literally not go beyond their one-note personality, mediocre action that will not improve, and a premise so predictable and overdone that it's impossible not to know what's gonna happen. Obviously, she's important. And the only way the plot can continue is if another main character, being Lillith, is contracted to get her back in exchange for a whole lot of cash. There really is nothing else to say. Lillith and Roland are so dull, it's painful. Tina, being a kid, doesn't care about anything, hardly differates from her established tone, even if it makes no sense, and Atlas, played by Edgar Ramirez, is there because the plot needs a bad guy. Honestly, so far, Krieg is the most interesting character.
I will lick your spine clean! Sardine showers! Chutney vomit queen!
No, I'm not kidding. There's some weird attempts at humor thrown in, like how she at first just shoots Atlas. It's almost like a joke about the cliche plot to come. But then his face becomes a hologram, the cliche plot comes anyway, and yeah, this is what this movie is. Stupid shit like this defines it. It's the only thing that stands out. Well, actually, it's not the only thing. Somehow they got Benjamin Brian Davis in this.
That is a mess to clean up, believe me.
If you don't know, he voiced fucking Dutch Vanderlyn in Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2. He may only be in a few scenes, but damn is it insulting. That being said, I guess we gotta talk about Jack Black. He voices the talking robot Claptrap, who has to help Lillith for stupid plot device reasons. And I know it may sound crazy, but I don't completely mind him.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Look, I'm not saying he's good or anything, but for this movie's standards, he's not the worst thing here. He does have some genuinely funny moments, even if it's overly stupid.
Believe me, I wish I could, based on what little I've experienced of your horrendous personality. Which is a shame because you're an awful person and I'd love to know who to blame for this.
And even though Jack Black is currently one of the biggest jokes out there, I'm not gonna pretend he isn't talented. Also, you don't really know it's him, his voice is completely disguised, so that is a good thing. Maybe I'm someone who's willing to laugh a bit easier, I don't know, but the comedy he provides does become tiring relatively fast. It is literally the only credit I will give this movie, but given nobody else is going to mention this, the combination of Borderlands and a Minecraft movie will likely send his career into a pit he likely won't climb out of. You know, assuming that hasn't already happened. Honestly, I kind of feel bad saying anything good about this, but luckily it ends here. There is nothing else to even remotely resemble comedy, and upon going to find Tina, it becomes clear she's not keen on going back. A boring fight ensues with stupid shit like this. And I completely forgot to mention this character because she doesn't deserve to be mentioned. Like most characters who talk and sound like this, she will of course become good at the end, but in this case will die immediately after, making the whole thing fucking irrelevant. I'm not even kidding, that is exactly what happens. Why does she exist? A love interest backstory that you'll soon forget about? That can't be it. I guess to provide this boring chase, in which they go into some sewage-like area and escape in a way that makes no sense. And damn it, is the CGI in this movie fucking awful. Do they just not care how things look? Did anybody question this?
Apparently not.
Did they spend the whole budget on these big-name actors? Is that what it took? It would make sense. I mean, good CGI won't fix this, so maybe it was the right move. Who knows, and who cares? The point is, she doesn't want to go back to her dad for obvious reasons, so they team up. I mean, they do discuss who's right and wrong for a bit, in an attempt to build some kind of characterization, but that fails. You may have noticed by now how the plot is just going through the motions. Lillith finds out Tina was genetically engineered with material from the Iridians, the race that was inhabiting Pandora. Like I said, the bare minimum. But Atlas believes only she can open the vault, because of secret technology that can do whatever. And he basically made her for only that reason, so obviously he's bad. Impeccable writing here.
Lazy!
They also have to find the other two plot devices, keys. And after another pointless scene with incredibly stupid characters, they go to see Dr. Tannis, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, get enough big names in, that'll sell it. Like every other character in the movie, doesn't need to be here, primarily phoning it in. But the catch is, she happens to be Lilith's estranged foster mother, meaning they have to not get along for about a minute. Tannis is just a weird character. I know nobody's capable of emotion in this movie, but this is just odd.
I'm not staying here.
What? Okay.
Of all the obvious signs of I don't want to be here, this is the most blatant. As far as the exact details as to why she's mad, it doesn't matter. You would literally not know it was a thing if you skipped this scene. If you need an example of how fucking dull this movie is, there's a scene when Tina starts crying, and it's so noticeably out of place.
Then he's just gonna lock me up into another secret lab and do more experiments. And if you saw the things I did to the other clones...
Do you realize this one scene does not count as emotion when she has the same personality outside of it throughout the whole fucking movie? This is not how development works. The Jack Black robot gets them caught, and I would say it's because the plot needs it, but they're gonna go after the second key anyway, so not really. It, again, affects nothing, and upon going after the key, they encounter some psychos. They send Jack Black Robot in to distract them, in which he completely fucks it up because Tina says so.
Was that too much? It was too much, wasn't it?
But you could still like the video, as you couldn't possibly like this movie, and subscribing is... They locate the key, and it leads into a number of action scenes because I guess they realize half the audience walked out. And again, they're not that good, they look stupid, the effects are bad, they're not that well done, period. And this is when the lack of an R rating really becomes an issue. That was the original idea, but when you see somebody getting axed or shot in the face, it just doesn't look right with a PG-13 rating. You can't tell me that wasn't the plan, I don't know the full reason for this. And even though it's off topic, what is it with this line?
What are you doing? I needed a gun. So you asked for it, Tannis. Ask.
Why are you in this? So the gunfights continue, one after the other, and in the end, Roland must stay behind and hold them off. I don't know why this happens either. They can't possibly think we care about this character. We know he's not dead, even though it's not explained how he gets out of this. We just cut back later to find they're dead and he isn't, but I don't know what this adds. So he can return in the climax, I guess? Luckily the others can't stop and they all die. No, they just teleport out. How?
I can move stuff with my mind, y'all.
Then why didn't you do that in the first place?
I don't know. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. They find out that Tina is the third key, but also that she might die if they go through with it. They don't really agree on this, but the issue they had earlier is, again, non-existent. I don't know how you'd forget that, but obviously Atlas is definitely bad, so Lilith tells him to fuck off. However, Tina hears it, assumes it's something else, and tries to kill her. I think. The others all just leave, aside from Jack Black Robot, so... I don't know. But then they walk for a bit, the robot eventually starts playing a message from her real mother. It explains why Claptrap was there. And if you care about the rest, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. And if you do, there is something mentally wrong with you. The other three head to the vault, but they find that Tina can't open it and is apparently not the chosen one. No, Lillith is the chosen one. I have nothing to say about that. It would seem Tina didn't try and kill her in the previous scene. Then again, maybe she did. With this movie's logic, who knows? There's another weird line when Lillith says, "Let her go and I'll open it," and Atlas says, "I'll let them all go."
You open the vault, and you all go free. You have my word.
I don't know why he had to say that, but anyway, she becomes a phoenix-like beast, makes everybody invincible. It ends up being no match for his ship laser. Not too impressive. But the power comes back on because plot, the ship's taken out. I'm not quite sure where Roland rolls to here. And in the end, she does still take Atlas to the vault, as she has no choice. But Tina gets away and he's eaten by a giant squid monster. Oh, what a great villain he was. He'll be missed. So that's it. The people celebrate because, I don't know, happy fucking ending. What the hell happened here? That's the real question. How did something this bad get made by somebody who used to make decent movies? Eli Roth is not without any talent. The only truly awful movie would have been Death Wish. But this easily takes the place of that, and I don't know why. I think I've made it abundantly clear by now what's wrong with this movie, being literally everything. Generic plot, nobody wants to fucking be here, terrible effects, almost no comedy. It's boring as hell to get through, but again, why was it a thing? How could anybody put in so little thought and expect something that isn't a box office disaster? I almost skipped it completely because of how one-sided the fuck-ups are. There's nothing really new to say here, aside from me not hating Jack Black's role as much, and kind of liking some of it. But in the grand scheme of things, nobody really cares about that, and I'm just one more person questioning how this got made. All I know is, got made it did, and unless you really want to see how bad it is yourself, I would stay clear of this. It's not so bad it's good, it's just bad. I don't know how it happened, but it's definitely something that shouldn't have been fucking made. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, the chosen one is overrated. Or the special one. So, you've made it to the end. That's an impressive feat indeed. Since you managed that, I guess check out the gaming channel, in which I cover a variety of gaming topics, like analysis videos, such as this one. If you're into that, then press the link in the description. It's that simple.